Now, dear students, let us come to our topic. So, dear students, I have found a few questions which have been asked in the papers, and these questions are from the general aptitude and maths only, because from the, you can say, from your technical portion there is no change, right? The thing is that only the questions will be jumbled, otherwise the sequence will be same that you have already discussed. We have already discussed about the mock test, right? Whatever the mock test you have given, we have the same pattern. You have the same pattern. Clear? Yeah, regarding MSQ also I forgot to tell you. Regarding MSQ also, a lot of students were asking me, sir, what about this MSQ? What type of questions have been asked from this MSQ? Let us come to the MSQ also, MSQ portion. MSQ. See, there is no proper sequence of the MSQs. In some papers, the MSQs are total 4 number. In some paper, the MSQ are 2 MSQs. In some paper, the MSQ are 3. But in no paper, the MSQ have been, you can see a lot of MSQs, more than 5, more than 6, more than 7. No, not in any paper. But it is not the confirmed thing that in your paper how many MSQs will be there. But maximum 4 MSQs have been asked till now, whatever the papers have been conducted. Okay, and one more thing, there is also no sequence of the NAT type of question. In some papers there are 5 NAT questions, in some paper there are 10 NAT questions. I remember that in the second shift, the maximum number of NAT questions, because I still remember in the second shift of 6th of February for the civil paper, there were around 25 to 30 NATs. 25 to 30 NATs. So whatever the memory based papers we have, so comparing that, we have 25 to 30 NATs. So there is no proper sequence that you will be getting 5 NATs or 6 NATs or 2 MSQ, 6 MSQ, whatever, right? There is no proper sequence for that. For different papers, you have different number of MSQs and different number of NATs. That is what the GATE people have changed. Actually, you know that, dear students, GATE has been conducted from past 20-25 years. So almost every type of concept they have asked. Now even they think that what is the new concept they should ask. So what they are doing is that they are just changing a little bit the pattern of the paper. So more number of NAT type of questions are there. Because until and unless you do not know the exact up to 0.4 up to 0.2 digits, you do not know the answer, you will not be able to tick. Because suppose that you have MCQ. So you know that only one answer will be correct. So even if you do some calculation mistake, you are not getting the answer, you will again do the calculation. That my answer is not among the 4 options, I must have done some calculation mistake, let me again do the calculation. But this chance you do not get in NATs. If your calculation is wrong, answer is wrong. So that is what they have done. They have actually changed the number of MSQs, number of NATs, number of MCQs. That is what they have done actually this year. And one more thing I am again and again repeating, that is not for sure that in your paper this format will be followed or not. So this is the format which has been followed in the past 3 papers, whatever they have conducted. Clear? If this format is followed, then you will be already prepared that okay, sir has already told us that this is the format, then you will not face any issue. Clear? So till now this format has been followed. Now without wasting any time, let us solve a few questions. Then you will see that okay, these types of questions have been there in the examination. Let us see some question, dear students. Let us start from here. So this was a question, I guess it was in the ENC shift, I guess, right? Let me check it. I guess it was in the ENC shift or something. No, it was the morning shift of civil. This question was in the morning shift of civil, not the ESC question. Now, let us solve these questions. Then you will get an idea what type of questions have been there in the examination. Okay? Because GS and mathematics is almost same for every branch. Getting to the top is dash, then staying on the top. Very simple. Very simple. Which type of question it is? From the grammar. It is from the grammar. You will find it, right? So, even if you do not know, even if you are from the Hindi medium background, I have already told in the classes that if you are from the Hindi medium background, what you should do, what you should not do. But Even if you do not know that what should be the answer of this question, getting on the top is dash, then staying on the top. Clear? Even if you are from the Hindi medium, you will say, okay, मंजिल तक पहुंचना आसान है लेकिन मंजिल पे टिके रहना बहुत मुश्किल है. That is what the you can say conversion of this particular statement in Hindi will be. मंजिल तक पहुंचना आसान है, मंजिल पे टिके रहना मुश्किल है. Getting right? So getting on the top is easier. Easiest cannot be possible, right? Much easy doesn't make sense. Much easy, because we have the three forms, right? Easy, easier, easiest, superlative, right? So easy, easier. So getting on the top is easier than staying on the top. Very simple. So getting on the top is easier than staying on top. Very simple. Okay. So this type of question has been there in every exam. In ENC also this type of question was there. This is a question of civil, by the way, right? This type of question has been there in the environment also. I will solving almost every question. In the given figure, value of theta you have to find. This value of theta. See, geometry question. Geometry and some shifts, geometry plus probability. In the given figure, we have to find the value of theta when PR, which is PR, this is PR, PS, okay, QS, Q, S, TR, TQ are of equal length. These are of equal length. Which one? That is PR, which is PR, this is PR, okay. Then we have this PS, okay. Then we have this QS, okay. This is QS, okay. Then we have TR, TQ. So this is my TR and this is my TQ. So they are of equal length, and you have to find this angle of theta. Clear? So how will you find it? See, here we have a pentagon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have a pentagon. And I already told you in classes that in geometry, if you have to find the angle subtended by n number of sides. For example, you have n number of sides. You have n number of sides. They can be 4, they can be 5, they can be 6. How to find the summation of interior angles for a closed polygon? That is 2n minus 4 into 90 degree. Where is n is the number of sides. Here it is a pentagon. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. And it's a regular pentagon. You can see from the figure also. If you want to calculate, you can calculate also. The angles will be equal. It is a regular pentagon. So if it is a regular pentagon, how much will be the angle? So 2 into 5 minus 4 into 90. So 5 into 2 is 10, minus 4 is 6. 6 into 90 is 540. 540 degrees. So this is my angle, the summation of these angles. This angle, this angle, this angle, this angle, this angle. That will be 540. Clear? And since all the angles are equal, the value of every angle, that is theta 1 is equal to theta 2 is equal to so on, will be equal to 540 number of angles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 divided by 5. Clear? So it will be equal to 5 into 1 is 5, 0 and 8. 108 degree will be each angle. See, let me rub it, then you will get it, because I have drawn a lot of things here. Let me rub it, this thing let me rub. Yeah, no, this is fine. Now see, if you see this, let us say this angle is 108 degree, this angle. How much will be this angle? You will say that, sir, 180 minus 108. Getting me, right? So this angle will be 180 minus 108. So if this is 180 minus 108, this will also be 180 minus 108. How much that will be equal to? If you see this triangle, 180 minus this plus this. Simple. So this theta will be equal to 180, because the sum of all the angles in a triangle is 180. 180 minus, how much is this? 180 minus 108. Minus 108. And plus, how much is this? Again 180 minus 108. If you solve this, you will be getting, let me see the calculator, just wait a second. Let me get my calculator here. So it is 180, 180 got cancelled out. So 180 into 2. So 108 into 2 is 216 minus 180 is 36. So theta is coming out to be 36 degrees. Very simple. Clear? So this is the question which has been asked in some paper. Civil paper, not some paper, civil paper, right? Okay, so let us move forward. Let us see what other type of questions have been there in the exam. Yeah, very important. These types of questions have been there. Some symbols are also there, right? Some symbols are there. You have to find the values. These types of questions have been asked. If this symbol and this symbol are two operators, now what is the meaning of an operator? I have told you in the mathematics portion also, we have the Newton's operator, right? Forward difference operator, backward difference operator, forward summation operator. So we have the various types of operator. So del is also an operator, right? If you do del f, then you get something, right? Operator means an operation which changes the meaning of the function. For example, 2 plus 5. So plus is an operator. Clear? So if this and this are two operators on numbers p and q such that p this q is equal to this thing and p this q is this thing, then if this is 2, if x this is 2 and this operator into 2, then the value of x will be what? Then the value of x will be what? How will you find it? Very simple. So x and this symbol represents this thing, right? So it will be equal to x square plus y square divided by x into y is equal to this symbol represents this thing will be equal to 2 square divided by 2. Clear? So it will be what? It will be 2 got cancelled out. It will be equal to x square plus y square. It will be equal to 2xy because this is 4 and some things got cancelled out. You take it here. It will be x minus y whole square is equal to 0. It means that x will be equal to y. Simple. Getting it, right? So these types of questions are there in the examination. And you can easily solve these questions. There is no special thing required to solve these questions. You can easily solve these questions. Let us proceed further. In a company, 35% of the employees, they drink coffee, 40% drink tea and 10% drink both tea and coffee. From where this question has been asked? Venn diagrams. So we know that in Venn diagrams, that is probability of or percentage of A union B is equal to percentage of probability of A plus percentage or probability of B minus probability or percentage of A intersection B. We know this thing. We know this thing. Apply this, you will get the answer. Simple. In a company, 35% of the employees, they drink coffee. Let us say this is coffee, 35%. 40% drink tea. Let us this is tea. And 10% drink both, right? So this is my 10 which drink both. What is the percentage of employee that neither drink tea or not coffee? First of all, find the A union B and then you do 1 minus A union B. 1 means the 100%. 100 minus A union B. You will get the answer. Clear? So to further understand it, let me do one thing. Let me rub everything. Okay, let me rub everything from here. Now see, to further understand it, I can also draw a Venn diagram. For example, this is the sample space. Let us say this is the sample space. The whole percentage is 100. Clear? This is my coffee and this is my tea. So 35% drink coffee, 40% drink tea, and this intersection is how much? This intersection is 10%. You have to find this thing, what is left. So first of all, determine the whole thing, that is P A union B will be equal to 35 plus 40 and minus 10. 35 plus 40 is 75, minus 10 is 65. That is 65% drink. Either this or this. That is the meaning of that. Either this or this. Clear? Now 1 minus 65 will be equal to people who do not drink anything. That is 35%. 35% is the correct answer. Simple, right? These types of questions are there in exam. Now, this is a very good question. Question number 5 is very good question. Question is, two paper M and N. For this, we have to draw something, right? Let me rub everything from here. Now, let us go to this question. Question number 5. Two paper, so we have two papers, M and N. Let me draw these papers. So, let us say this is paper my M and this paper is my N paper. This paper is my N paper. M and N with same dimension 6 centimeter cross 4 centimeter. Let us say this is 6 centimeter and let us say the width is 4 centimeter for both the papers. Okay, operation 1, paper is folded exactly half by joining its shorter edges each time. Paper is folded exactly half by joining its shorter edges each time. So this has been folded like this, right? So it has been folded like this. So if you fold it like this, it will become like this. So this is my, you can say, by joining its shorter edges. Okay, shorter edges we have to join, so it has been folded like this. Let me rub it. Let me rub it. Let me rub it. Sorry. Yeah. So it has been folded like this, like short edges, right? Operation 2, paper is folded half by joining its longer edges. This is my operation number 2. So this is my operation number 1. For example, this is a paper. Do I have a paper here? Yeah, this is a paper, right? So this is my short edge, this is my long edge. For example, it is like this: long edge, short edge. Operation number 1, folded exactly by joining its shorter edges. This is my operation number 1. It will become like this. Clear? Paper is for operation 2, paper is folded half by joining its longer edges, right? Longer edges, this is my operation number 2, like this. So these are the two operations that we have. Now consider the following. Operation 1 done for M paper 3 times and operation 2 done for N paper 3 times. Okay. Find the ratio of the perimeter of the rectangle formed by N to M. Again, remember this, N to M. Sorry. Remember this thing, N to M. Read the question very carefully. A lot of students have made mistakes in the APTI exam. APTI was very easy, by the way. A lot of students have made the mistake by not reading the question carefully, because in this question it was, some people did it by M to N. Clear? Just read the question very carefully. Now what will happen? Let us consider this M paper. This is my M paper, like this. This is 6 and this is 4. So on M what we have done? Operation 1 is done for on M 3 times. 3 means if you do it first time, let us say the first time. If you do it first time, this will be 4 and this will be 3. This is my 4 and this is my 3. Now this has become a shorter side, this has become a longer side. Clear? Again, if you do the operation number 2 here, again operation 2, if you do it like this, because along the longer side, along the shorter side you have to fold it, then it will become like this. It will become 2 here, this will become 2, this will become 3, this will be 3, right? And this will become 2. Now this has become longer side. Again you do the operation number 3. Again you fold it like this. If you again fold it like this, it will become, this will become 1.5 and this will become 2. Clear? Now what is the perimeter? The perimeter in this case will be equal to 2 times of 1.5 and plus 2. 3.5 into 2 is, that is 7. Perimeter for this M case, this was the M paper, is 7. Similarly, you can do that thing for this N also. But for N, we have different thing. This was 6 and this was my 4. So for N, operation number 2 is done 3 times. So this is my operation number 1. In operation 1, what will happen? What is operation 2? Paper is folded half by joining its longer edges. So this is the longer edge, right? So we have to fold it like this. If fold it like this, it will become 2 and it will be 6. Again, which is the longer edge? This is again the longer edge. Again you do it like this. If you again do it like this, again it will be 6 but it will become 1. This is my operation number 2. Again that is the longer side. If you again do this 6 and 0.5, right? If you again fold it, it will become 6 and this will become 0.5. Sorry, 0.5. Perimeter will be equal to 2 into 6 plus 0.5. 6.5 into 2 is 13. So the ratio of n to m will be equal to 13 divided by 7. The ratio of m to n perimeter will be equal to, sorry, n to m, right? N to m perimeter will be equal to 13 divided by 7. Simple. Getting? Is it fine? Is it fine? Now, question number 6. Already told you, questions are there on the mirror images. Find the mirror image about the x-axis. In the class, we have already done the special aptitude. That is a very simple question, triangle. And I guess in classes, we have already done triangle. This word we have already done in classes. Both about the y-y axis and both about the x-axis. Y-y axis and x-axis. Both. Okay? We have done about, in the class, we have done about both the axes. Okay, so this question is from your notes, by the way. Let me rub it. So triangle, about this x-axis we have to find the mirror image. Its mirror image will be this. Its mirror image will be, so here, its mirror image will be like this, right? Let me check it. Yeah, its mirror image will be like this. Then its I will be I, A will be like this. This is my A, and G will be like this, right? Because this is G. So here, this will be G, right? This will be G. This will be G, somewhat like this. This will be G. This will be L, and this will be E. E will be same, right? E will be same. So this is the mirror image of a triangle. And there were 4 options and you have to find the correct option. So this is the mirror image of a triangle. Let us move to the next question. Either means either P marries Q or X marries Y. Either P marries Q or X marries Y. Among the option below, what is the absolute logical negations of this statement? Clear? That is, let us say this is P, this is Q, this is X, this is Y. So either P marries Q, either this will marry this. Let us say he is Sham and he is Rani. So Sham marries Rani. Okay. Then or Y marries Y, X marries Y. Okay. Among the option below, what is the absolute logical negotiation of this? Neither P marry Q nor X marry Y. Neither P marry Q nor X marry Y. Okay. P does not marry Q and X marries Y. P does not marry Q and X marries Y. Okay. So that is or is there. Or means it might happen, it might not happen. Either P will marry Q or X will marry Y, or both might not also marry. That is also possible. So read the question very carefully. So what are you getting from this question? Either this thing might happen or that thing might happen. Clear? Or both might not happen. P does not marry Q. So it is a affirmative sentence. P does not marry Q. Right? P might not marry Q might be correct, but P does not marry Q is a very firm statement which you are giving, so it is not correct, by the way. P marries Q. Again, affirmative, right? Not correct. Because it is either P marries Q or X marries Y. X does not marry. X does not, this does not, right? Does not marry and P marries Q. That is also affirmative sentence. But here, this is not a affirmative sentence. This is like this. या तो मैं जाऊं या ना जाऊं. अब या तो मैं जा भी सकता हूं या मैं ना भी जाऊं, मेरी मर्जी है, right? That is my will, whether I want to go there or not. So I'm not firm that I have to go, or I will go, or I went. So that is not affirmative. That is a probabilistic, you can say, sentence. So obviously these three are not correct. This might be correct. Neither P marry Q. It might be possible that this is not marrying Q, or nor X marry Y. That is also possible. But these are the formative sentences. Obviously this thing cannot happen. This is a much more, you can say, diplomatic sentence, you can say, right? Okay. So this is the answer to this question. Next. Four persons P, Q, R, S are to be seated in a row. These types of questions we have already done in the class. Let us say this is P. Let us say this is one position, this is two position, because it is a row, right? Three position, four position are to be seated in a row. All are facing the same direction. Let us say this is the north direction here. All are facing this direction. Okay. P and R cannot sit adjacent to each other. So we have this P and we have this R. They cannot sit adjacent to each other. And S could be seated to the right of Q. And S could be seated to the right of Q. The number of distinct seating arrangement possible will be. Clear? So S could be seated just right to Q. So we have got this thing, right? Let us say here we have this Q and here we have this S. That is for sure. That is S. Oh, sorry. S is on the right of Q. Right of Q. So right of Q means right of Q. Right of Q means this is Q and S is here. And so this is one combination that is given, right? S. This is not could. This is should, right? This is should. This is not could. This is should. S should be seated to the right of Q. So this is the firm thing which is given. Now we cannot change this thing. This has to be there. We cannot change this thing, right? Now, and P and R cannot sit adjacent to each other. So this is my P and this is R. This is my R. They cannot sit adjacent to each other. Now this, if QS, if I shift it here, R has to be here, which is not possible. So this is one sequence possible. What is the other sequence? Other sequence can be, here we can have R, here we can have Q, here we can have S, and here we can have P. This is the second sequence possible. Is there any more sequence possible? Let us try it. If you do this like this, QR here, QS here. If you do it like this, that is Q here, S here, R here, P here. So this is not satisfied. This is not satisfied. So only we have two sequences, 1 and 2. So 2 is the correct answer to this question. Clear? Get it, right? Very simple questions, right? Very simple questions. Again, very simple question. Next question. Now, what is the next question? Lambda PQ is equal to this thing. A function is given to you. Calculate the value of lambda minus 3 plus 2 comma minus 2 plus 3 and this. Very easy. Simple. Just solve it, right? Just solve it. Solve it. It will be lambda, because we have to find lambda in bracket, we have P comma Q. And we have to find the value of P comma Q, right? Lambda, so it will be minus 1, it will be 1, right? This is minus 1 multiplied by negative, that is 1, comma, it will be 1 here, divided by, it will be minus 1, so minus 1 into minus, that will be 1. Just divide it, so it will be lambda 1 comma 1. So it means that P is equal to 1 and Q is equal to 1. Just put it here. So we cannot put it here because P is equal to Q. So we cannot put this function. We have to put this function. If you put 1, 1, it will be equal to 0. Simple. It will be equal to 0. Simple, right? I hope that you have got it. Is it fine? Select the grammatically. See, I told you grammar questions have been there. Even if you are from the Hindi medium background, you will not find any difficulty in these questions. Okay, so this was an MSQ by the way. It was an MSQ by the way. See, MSQ might be there in the APT also. Okay, so it was an MSQ in the second shift. In this MSQ in 6th of February, 6th of Feb, second shift. That is 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. 3 to 6 p.m. shift. This was the question. Select the grammatically correct statement. Arun's family is here. Correct. Very good. Arun's families. So Arun's means singular. Families. Plural. Cannot be possible. Arun and Aruna, plural, are correct. Arun and Aruna, two people, plural, is singular. Cannot be correct. So A and C are correct. Simple. Next question, very good question by the way. This next question is very good question. Question number 11. I told you, geometry plus probability. That is a sequence that they have followed till now. Geometry plus probability. In the figure shown below, PQRS is a square, blah blah blah, this is this, right? Okay. Ultimately, what do we have to find? R is given, R is this, okay. This is a square. Okay, the probability that it is 11, okay, 12. The probability that any point picked randomly within the square falls in the shaded area. So what is the meaning of probability? Favorable divided by total, right? What is the formula for probability? That is favorable outcomes, favorable divided by total. Simple, right? Favorable by total. Now what is the favorable here? This is the favorable. So you can solve this question by 3 or 4 methods actually. It depends on you which method strikes to your mind for the very first time. A lot of students have solved it like this. Find out the total area, then this is a semicircle, right? It is a square, portion from intersection of sectors of circle, this circle, right? So it is a quadrant of a circle, this thing is a quadrant of a circle, right? So this quadrant of a circle plus this quadrant of a circle minus r square will give you this area. You can do it like this also. Or there is one more method. You divide into 2 parts. Clear? If you divide it into 2 parts, dear students, now what is the area of this portion? You will say that, sir, it will be pi r square, the area of the whole circle, but it is a quadrant, so divide by 4. Pi r square minus this triangle, minus half into base is r or height is r. Simple. So you have found this area. You multiply this thing by 2. Why? Because this thing also symmetrical. You multiply this thing by 2. It will be equal to pi r square divided by 2 minus it will be r square. This is the area of this shaded portion. Now what is the probability? Favorable, this is my favorable, divide by total. Total is r into r is r square. You cancel r square and you will be getting pi by 2 minus 1. So this is the correct answer of this question. Simple. Getting? Very easy, right? Next question. See, this type of question is there in every exam. Whatever the exams have been conducted till now. If this function is equal to p minus q, this function is this p into q, the value of 9, this function means minus 9 minus 6, this function 7, this function means into, so 6 into 7, this function means minus, again bracket 7, this 7 multiplied by this function means p minus q, that is 6 minus 5. Simple. It will be 9 minus 42 minus 7 into 1. It will be equal to 9 minus 42 and minus 7. Let me check it whether there is some mistake with this question or not. This is 6 dot, that is 6 minus 5 into, yes, correct, 9 minus 6 into, 6 into this. Yes, correct. So it will be equal to 9 minus 7 is 2. So minus 42 plus 2 is minus 40. So minus 40 is the correct answer. Is there? Yeah, it is minus 40. Clear? Next, mirror image. Again, same thing, right? S can be written as this, I this, X this, A this, L this, Y this, right? H this, P will be this. This will be P. So this is the mirror image symbol. And by the way, these types of questions we have already done in the class, right? That is P, the mirror image about this will be equal to this, right? About this, it will be equal to what? It will be equal to this. So we have done all these things. Whether we have to find about the y-axis or the x-axis. So here in the question it was written x-axis. So we have to find it. So this is my y and this is my x. So we have to find it about this axis. These types of questions we have already solved in the class. Only the data is changed, otherwise everything is same. On a planar field, you travel 3 units east. So let us say that this is my north, this is my south, this is my east, and this is my west. Okay. So let me rub it because you already know this. Let me rub it, otherwise we will take some space here. Yeah. So you travel 3 units east, 3. Let us say this is point O. Then you travel, this is my 3 units east. Then you travel 4 units south to reach the point P. Okay. Then you travel from P in the northeast direction, such that you arrive at a point that is 6 units east of the point O. That is 6 units east of the point O. And you have traveled up to this portion, and this portion is what? This portion is whatever the portion is, right? Okay. Then next you travel in the northwest direction. In this direction we have traveled, right? In the northwest direction, such that you arrive at a point Q that is 8 units from the north of point P. North of point P, that is 8 units. From here to here it is 8 units. Distance of point Q to point O. This is my point Q, this is point O. So we have to find this distance. This is 3. How much will be this? 8 minus 6 will be equal to 2. So it will be equal to what? Sorry, 4 units, right? This is 4 units. So it will be equal to 8 minus 4. This will be equal to 4. So it will be equal to under root of 4 square plus 3 square. 16 plus 9 is 25. Root 25 is 5. So the 5 is the correct answer. That is the correct answer. Simple. Considering the given statement definitely corrected, choose the conclusion which logically is some football players play hockey. Let us say this is the football players and this is hockey. Some football players play hockey. Okay. All cricket players play hockey. So all cricket players play hockey. It means that either the cricket player is like this or the cricket player is like this. It can be anything, right? Because all cricket players play hockey. There might be some people who might also be playing football, because some hockey players play football, and there might be a case where not even a single person from the cricket background play football, right? So there might be 2 scenarios possible. If you look at the statement, there are 2 scenarios possible. So first, what is the first scenario? The first scenario is this is my football and this is my hockey and this is my cricket. This is my hockey and this is my cricket. That is, no cricketer play football because all cricketers play hockey. Or there might be one more scenario. This is football, this is hockey, this might be one more scenario, cricket, hockey and football. So these are the 2 scenarios which seem to be correct from this. Okay. Conclusions: all football players play hockey. Not possible. Incorrect. Some football players hockey. Some football players play hockey. That is correct. Some football players play, okay. Some football players play cricket. All cricket players play hockey. Okay, so there is some mistake, right? Some football play cricket. Okay, not hockey, cricket. Okay, so there is some technical mistake here. I made a mistake by reading the question. I did not read the question carefully. Do not do this mistake in the examination. Okay, do not do this mistake in the exam. I made a mistake while reading the question. The question is, some football players, this is football players, play cricket. This is cricket. Okay. All cricket players play hockey. So all cricket players play hockey like this. This is my hockey. This is the thing which is there. All cricket players play hockey. All football players hockey, not possible. Some football players play hockey. Some football players play hockey. Yeah, this is correct. No football player hockey, not correct. All hockey players play football, not correct. So this is the correct answer. B is the correct answer. I thought there is some other question. Next question. Four persons PQRS are to be seated in a row. R should not be seated in second position. Let us say again the same type of question. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4 people PQRS. R should not be seated on the second position. This is the first position. This is the second position. This is the third position. And this is the fourth position. R should not sit here. Again, this question can be done by two ways. Either R can be here. If R is here, we have PQR. So PQR means 3 factorial. Sorry, 3 factorial. Yes, that is 3 into 2. 6 ways. R can be here. Then also we have 6 ways. R can be here. Then also we have 6 ways. Total we have 18 ways. Or just let them sit wherever they want to sit. So if they are sitting somewhat like this, wherever you want to sit, that is 4 factorial. 4 into 3 is 12. 12 into 3 is 24. 24 ways. Minus. But if R is here, minus 3 factorial, that is 6, that is again 18. This can be solved by 2 ways, whatever you want to do. So 18 is the correct answer. So 18 is the correct answer. Simple. Or this question can also be solved by one more way, but that will take a lot of time. R, then you do, okay, P, Q, S, Q, P, S, S, P, Q, this. It will take some time, but you will get the answer. Question number 18, very good question. Equilateral triangle PQR, sides are divided PQ in 4 parts. Let us say this is an equilateral triangle. Again, it is given equilateral triangle. This is my P, this is my Q, this is my R. PQ is divided in 4 equal parts. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 equal parts. QR in 6 equal parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 equal parts. And RP is divided 8 equal parts. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then we have 8 equal parts. Okay. Find the minimum area of the triangle in centimeter. Oh, very easy. First of all, I should know the side. That how much the side is, because all the sides have been divided equally. So what is the minimum length of the side? The minimum length of the side will be the LCM of 4, 6 and 8. So what is the LCM of 4, 6 and 8? 4, 6 and 8 will be equal to 6 into 2 is 12, cannot be. 6 into 3 is 18. 18 is not divisible by 8. 6 into 4 is 24. Yeah, 24 is the LCM. It means that the minimum length of the side is 24. So 24 units. This is also 24 units. And this is also 24 units. So 24 is the minimum length of the side. So find the minimum area of the triangle. So we know that for an equilateral triangle, the area is given by root 3 by 4 a square. What is a? A is 24. So 24 square divided by 4. It will be root 3 by 4 into 24 into 24. So it will be equal to 6. 6 into 24 is 6 for 24. I said 12, 140. Yeah, 144 root 3. So 144 root 3 is there in the option? Yeah, it is in the option. So this is the correct answer for this question. 144 root 3. Very simple. Next question. Present population. This type of question also we have done in the class. And I also told you about the formula of the equilateral triangle in the class. If you do not know even if you are not attending the class, in class 11th and 12th, we had the formula for the equilateral triangle. We have the Hero's formula also. Now what is the Hero's formula? S into S minus A, S minus B, S minus C under root, that is the area of a triangle. With the help of that also you can calculate, but that will be a lengthy method. So this is the most accurate method, where S is the semi-perimeter, okay? Question number 19, sorry. Question number 19, very simple. If P by Q plus Q by P is 3, then the value of this, very simple, just solve it. It will be equal to P square, take PQ as the LCM, P square plus Q square divided by PQ will be equal to what? Will be equal to 3. Or you can do one more thing. You can take the square of this, because I am finding it as P square. So if you take the square of this, it will be equal to P square divided by Q square plus Q square divided by P square plus 2PQ. 2 this into this and this into this will be as a plus 2. It will be equal to 9, and 9 minus 2 will be equal to 7. So you will be getting this thing 9 minus 2 as 7. So 7 will be the correct answer of this question. Simple. Present population of a village is this thing. It is increasing at a rate of 5%. And while calculating the questions on population, I told you apply the formula of compound interest. Simple, right? So in 2 years, so it will be equal to 110,110,2500. Okay, and this question has been repeated 2 times. First in the environment science and engineering paper, and then in the EC paper. Same question. 110,2500 will be equal to x. I do not know x. 1 plus r. What is the rate of change? That is 5 upon 100 square. So if you solve it, you will be getting 1.05 square will be equal to 2.25. 2.025, so it will be equal to what? It will be equal to nearly, let me calculate it. It will be equal to nearly nearly 10 lakhs. Nearly 10 lakhs. This is the correct answer of this question. Three coins are tossed one after the other. Okay, one coin has head on both the sides, so it is a biased coin. And problems on biasness we have already done. The same type of question was also there in the environment also. So there was a question that if P and Q denote, so there is a biased dice. If P and Q denote 2 numbers, and the probability of that number is directly proportional to P square and Q square. This was a type of question in the environment science engineering paper. So for that, what you have to do is that the answer will be like this. So it will be equal to, okay, forget that question. Let us solve this question. 2 coins are tossed one after the other. One coin has head on both the sides, one has tail on both the sides, and the third one has head and tail on either sides. The probability of getting head in the second toss. In the second toss, when the first toss was a head. The first toss was a head. So we have 3 coins, right? This is coin number 1, coin number 2, and coin number 3. This coin has head on both the sides. This coin has tail on both the sides. This has head on both the sides. And this has either head or tail. So the probability of getting a head in this coin is 1. the probability of getting a head in this coin is 0. The probability of getting a head in this coin is 1 by 2. So that is what is happening. The probability of getting a head in the second toss when the first toss was a head. So if the first toss is a head, it can be from this or it can be from this. If the first toss is head. Clear? So the first toss is head, it can be from this or it can be from this. Probability of selecting one coin will be equal to 1 by 3. Let us say I select this coin or this coin. It will be equal to 1 by 3. So probability of selecting this coin is 1 by 3. Okay. Then the second coin will be a, you can say, head. Now here, how many heads do we have? We have one head and we have 3 tails. So the probability of getting one head and we have 3 tails here. Clear? Or you can take this also. You can take this also. If you take this also, okay, if you take this also, then it will be 1 by 3 plus 1 by 3 into, now if you take this, right, 1 by 3 and probability of getting a head, that is 1 by 2. Then if you take this here, so 1 by 3 of selecting one coin, here it is 1 by 2, and on the second it should be head, it should be again equal to 1 by 2, right? It should again be equal to 1 by 2. Sorry, not 1 by 2. Not 1 by 2. It can happen. Just wait a second. It can happen. Just wait a second. Let me rub it. There is one mistake which I am making in this question. Just wait a second. There is one mistake which I am making in this question. Let me again try to read this question carefully. 3 coins are caused one after the other. One coin has head on both the sides. Okay, so that is also, we have one head and one head. Then one has tail on both the sides. One has tail, tail, and the third one has head and tail on either sides. Third one has head and tail on either sides. Okay, so the third one might have head on both the sides, or the third one might have. Okay, the probability is that the third one can be a fair coin or it can be a biased coin. Now that is the question I I just read this question incorrectly. It can be a biased question or it can be an unbiased question. It can be a biased coin or it can be an unbiased coin. If it is a biased coin, both the sides will have either head or either tail. If it is a fair coin, then one will have head and the other will have tail. Because it is written that the third one has head and tail on either sides. Okay, so it will be equal to 1 by 3, selecting a chance of one coin. So let us say one is head, right? And first is head, that is we have fixed 1 by 3. Either you can select this or you can select this, so it is 2 by 3. If it is biased, it will be 2 by 3. And here that we should have head, it will be equal to into 1 by 2. It will be equal to 1 by 2. Clear? It will be equal to 1 by 2. Yes, correct. It will be equal to 1 by 2. Correct. So it will be equal to what? It will be equal to 1 by 3. So 1 by 3 is the correct answer. 1 by 3 is the correct answer. Next question. A square of 1 unit side is first cut along its diagonals to get two triangles. A square of 1 unit, right? That is 1 unit here. This is 1 here. This is 1 here. Okay. It is cut along its diagonal. About from this, it has been cut. Now, one triangle is revolved around its shortest side. So it is revolved around its shortest side. Okay. It is revolved like this. So it is revolved like this. If you revolve it like this, it will be this is the longer side. Okay. If you just revolve it like this, you will be getting a cone, right? The volume of the cone is, so we know that the volume of the cone is 1 by 3 pi r square h. Pi r square h. So it is revolved around its shortest side. So around this it has been rotated like this. Okay. So sorry, this is the wrong figure which I have made here. So the correct figure will be, so it is rotated along the shorter side. So the correct figure will be like this. Yeah, the correct figure will be like this. Okay, so it has been rotated like this. So it will be a cone like this. Okay, it will be a cone. It will be a cone like this. So this will be the cone. This is the cone. This will be equal to, the diagonal will be equal to 1 square plus 2, 1 square, that is root 2. This will be equal to root 2, and this will be equal to, this thing will be equal to 2 units. That is, the diameter of the base will be equal to 2 units, the radius will be equal to 1 unit. The height will be equal to what? The height will also be equal to 1 unit. So 1 by 3 into pi into radius is 1 square, height is also 1, so pi by 3 will be the correct answer of this question. So pi by 3 is there. So this is the correct answer of this question. Nostalgia is to anticipation as dash is to dash. See, nostalgia is an experience of the past. Anticipation, what is going to happen, is about the future. So if nostalgia is to anticipation, it means that past is to future. So past and future they are talking. So past and future is the correct answer. Similarly, this is also a geometry question. Corners are cut out from an equilateral triangle to produce a regular convex hexagon. It is a regular convex hexagon. First of all, find out 2n minus 4 into 90 degree. Hexagon, how many sides are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 2 into 6 minus 4 into 90. 6 into 2 is 12. 12 minus 4 is 8. 8 into 9 is 720. 720. 720 divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again the same thing you have to do. See what is the sequence? These types of questions are there. So we have solved a star question if you remember. We solved this type of question if you remember. Like this type of question was there. Same also. You find this angle, subtract 180, you will get this angle, subtract 180, you will get this angle. These two angles will be equal. This angle will be equal to 180 minus the summation of these two angles. Simple. I'm not going to solve it. It is a very easy question, by the way. The ratio of the area of the regular hexagon to the area of the original equilateral triangle is how much? Okay. See, it will be an equilateral triangle, by the way, because all the three angles should be equal. Okay. Then you have to find the area of this hexagon. How will you find the area of the hexagon? Add the two area of the triangles and you subtract. Or you can subtract from this area of triangle. From this area of triangle, right? You can subtract this portion, you can subtract this portion, and you can subtract this portion. Because this angle you will ultimately get it. This angle. You can easily solve it. I'm not going to solve it, right? It is an easy question. By the way, the answer of this question will be, let me see the answer of this question. The answer of this question will be 2:3. 2:3 will be the correct answer of this question. Question this. Number of minimum minutes spent by two students X and Y exercising every day in a given week is shown in the table below. The number of delays in a given week in which one of the students spent a minimum 10% more than the other student is. See, 10% more. 65, 55. 10% of 55 is 5.5. So 55 plus 5.5 is 60.5. This is correct. So on Sunday it is correct. Monday 10% of 50 will be 5. 50 plus 5 will be 60. 55, which is less than 60. So this is also correct. This is correct. This is correct. Tuesday 10% of 20 is 2. 20 plus 2 is 22. This is also correct. So he also spent 10% more. At least 10% more. Here 10% of 55 will be equal to 5.5. 55 plus 5.5 is 60.5. But here it is 60. It is incorrect. 10% of 50 will be equal to 5. 50 plus 5, 55, which is greater than 6, less than 60. Correct. Here also plus 5.5, 60. This is also correct. This is also correct. Okay. And this is also correct. The correct answer is 1, 2, 3. This is not 4, 5, and 6. So 6 days. At least one of the student, right, in 6 days, the number of days in which a given week, which of the minimum 10% or more than the other student will be equal to 6 days. Equal to 6 days. Simple. Let us see some mathematics question, how to solve these questions which have been asked in the GATE exam. If P is this, Q is this, we have to find Q transpose into P transpose. Very simple question, dear students. You can solve this question by two ways. Either you can determine, first of all, determine the transpose. Either this might be possible, that you first of all determine the transpose of each matrix and then you multiply both the matrices. That is number one method. The another method is that we have a property of transpose that P into Q transpose is Q transpose P transpose. That is Q into Q transpose is Q transpose P transpose. Either you can apply this property or you can individually solve it with lengthy method, but you can directly apply this property. So PQ will be equal to what? So PQ will be equal to what? It will be equal to, this is 0 and this is 2. Here it will be 1. Here it will be 0 and 4. And here it will be 3. It will be 3. You do the transpose of it. Okay, what is the transpose of a 2 cross 2 matrix? Only the diagonal elements will change. It will be 2, 4 and 1 and 3. This is the transpose of this matrix. Simple. Simpson's rule. Simple, dear students. Simpson's 1/3 rule. I have already told you in the class also what is the Simpson's 1/3 rule. Directly apply the Simpson's 1/3 rule, you will get the answer. Okay, so what is the Simpson's 1/3 rule? That is h by 3 first ordinate plus last ordinate plus you can say 4 times the odd ordinate y1 plus y3 plus so on, and plus 2 times the even ordinate, that is y2 plus y4 and plus so on. Already told you in the class also. You just apply the method, you will get the answer. The answer to this question will be nearly 10.38. 10.38 will be the answer to this question. Simple, right? Using trapezoidal rule, find integration of this by dividing it into 4 equal intervals. Right? Trapezoidal rule. What is the trapezoidal rule? That is h by 2 first term plus last term plus 2 times the other terms. Simple. That is the trapezoidal rule all about. Simple. You can solve it very easily. So if you divide into 4 equal intervals, h will be equal to 1 minus 0 divided by 4. That is 0.25 will be equal to h. You take h equal to 0.25 and then you solve it. It will be a very easy question. Triple integral, already told you, right? So that is 3 comma 4 for limits 3 comma 4 cross 2 comma 3 cross 0 comma 1. चल रहा है क्या वॉइस कम है? चली गई? हेलो, आ तो रही आवाज? आवाज आ रही है ना? देखना ठीक है ना? Okay, question this one. Integration from 3, 4, 2, 3, 0, 1. You can do it by any way. You can do it, right? So how can you do it? That will be equal to integration of 8 times of x, y, z. It is a triple integral, right? Dx, dy, dz. Dx, dy, dz. And the limits will be 0 to 1, okay, 2 to 3, and then we have 3 to 4. These are the limits. Solve the differential equation. This is the differential equation that we have to solve. Very easy, dear students. It will be equal to d square plus 2d and plus 1. You take y common, it will be equal to 0. How to solve it? Complementary function plus particular integral. Particular integral will be equal to 0 because the right hand side is 0. It will only have the complementary function. So y will be equal to c1 because it will be d plus 1 square. So y will be d will be equal to 1 and 1. So 2 times of 1 it will have, right? D. So c1 e raised to the power minus x plus c2 x e raised to the power minus x, or c1 plus c2 x. That is also you can do it. Now what we have to do, just put the values of these things, right? That is, at x is equals to 0, y equal to 1. If you put x is equals to 0, it will be equal to c1, because this will become equal to 0, c1 e raised to power 0 is 1, c1 will be equal to 1. C1 will be equal to 1. Similarly, you put, this is 0 now, right? Okay. Now, what do you do is that c1 will be equal to this, then you put at x is equals to 1, this y equal to 3. So y equal to 3 at x is equals to 1. At x is equals to 1, right? C1 is 1. 1 into e raised to power minus 1 plus C2 into e raised to power something, you will be getting the value of C2. Then you put the value of C1 and C2 and then you get this thing. Simple. Next question. Limit x tending to 1, it will be not defined, it will also be not defined. Let me do one thing, let me take the LCM. Limit x tending to 1, let me take the LCM. It will be x minus 1, the numerator, x minus 1 minus ln of x divided by ln of x minus 1, ln into x minus 1, ln of x into x minus 1, right? It will be x minus 1 minus ln of x. Now, if you put x is equals to 1 here, it will be 1 minus 1 is 0, minus this will be not defined, this will be not defined. Again, now it has become equal to infinity by infinity form. Now we can apply the L'Hopital rule, right? You can apply the L'Hopital rule. If you apply the L'Hopital rule, it will be equal to, if you just solve it, it will be equal to 0, it will be equal to 1, it will be equal to 0 minus 1 upon x, and first function derivative of second plus second function derivative of first, and if you put the value x equal to 1, ultimately you will be getting 1 by 2. Not solving it completely, you can easily do it, right? Find the rank of A. You see that, if you see that 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, right? So convert it into Ecalian form. If you just convert it into Ecalian form, you will be getting the rank of this matrix. Clear? You just convert it into Ecalian form, you multiply it by 3 minus multiplied by 5 minus this one, right? You can apply this function, that is R2 changes to R2 minus 3 times of R1, R3 changes to R3 minus 5 times of R1, and R4 changes to R4 minus 7 times of R1. You just apply this form and you will be getting something. Okay, just apply this form, you will be getting something, and that will be the answer to this question. Not solving it completely. But if you further solve it, the rank of this matrix will come out to be equal to 2. Similarly, you can solve this question, very easy question, right? It is an odd function, it will be equal to 0 directly. Square matrix, orthogonality, A into A transpose is I, identity matrix. Eigenvalue you have to find, eigenvector you have to find, we have already discussed in the class. Normal vector, gradient of this function. The solution of this can be done by two ways, either with the homogeneous or by e raised to the power integration of pdx, that form that we discussed in class 12th also. With that also you can do it, right? Limit this thing, infinity, infinity, infinity by infinity form, apply the L'Hopital rule. You will get the answer. The rank of this matrix, if you just see, it is 5 and minus 5. If you just add these two, this will become 0, 0, 0. The rank will come out to be equal to 3 directly, right? For the function this, the directional derivative. What is the meaning of directional derivative? Directional derivative means grad f dot n vector divided by the mod of n vector. That is the grad f, that is the directional derivative. Clear? So these are the questions, students, which have been asked in the GATE exam till now. So whatever the GATE exam has been conducted by IIT Bombay, this is what has been asked in the GATE exam. I hope that you have got a glimpse that what type of questions are being asked in different shifts. And the same type of questions might be there, again I am using this word, might be there in your GATE exam also. So be ready for that. Clear? And don't you can say, don't be feared in the examination that what type of questions will be there. Just go with a very cool mind and you will solve most of the questions. So that's all about in this lecture. We'll not be solving all these questions because these questions we have already solved in the classes. There is no need to give special attention to all these questions. All these questions we have solved already in the classes. Okay? So thank you everyone. Thanks for watching. All the very best for the GATE exam. For any doubt, a link will be provided to you. You can call on that number. That doubt will be cleared certainly. So thank you everyone. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye bye. Take care.